Hey Ryan, what do you and sheep have in common?
What?
You both put me to sleep.
Dude. So today we went and saw the claymation film called Shaun the Sheep.
Shaun the sheep is tired of doing the same work at the farm every day. He decides to take a day off. In order to do that, he needs to make sure the farmer doesn't know. When more happens that they can't handle, the sheep find their way in the big city. Now they need to get back to the farm.
So what a beautifully crafted film this is. Everything is so detailed and just looks stunning.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, both of us had to look up and see whether or not this was animated with CGI or whether or not this was done with claymation. And it turned out it was claymation, but we did have to double check. It was the scenes that they created were awesome. They were detailed. It was breathtaking to look and see the work that they had done on this.
The animators, they had a team of 20 animators go every day, and they accomplished about 2 seconds apiece. So in the days of work, they made about 40 seconds of footage for the film. That's crazy to think of.
Especially when you think about the fact that it takes us about 7 hours to do this every day.
Yeah. To think of how detailed the work is, it's kind of cool that you have all this like complex characters and designs, and you tell a simple story. That's what you get from this.
It's a stripped down story. It's stripped down storytelling. I like it a lot. There's no dialogue in here. They talk kind of like how the Sims talk,
Yeah.
It's just gibberish. But it works really well. It strips it down and makes it easy for you to follow the entire time, and it tells a good story. You know what else I liked about the plot is that it's not really preachy. It doesn't really solve a major problem. It doesn't talk about somebody's flaws that they're trying to overcome.
Yeah.
It just tells a funny, simple story.
Yeah, it's like about bonding. That's what I got from this. Bonding with the owner and bonding with the dog and the sheep. It was just plain and simple and getting back home. It
doesn't really hit you over the head with any direct message,
So there's a lot of humor in this, and it's really awesome to get because there's no dialogue, as we said. A lot of this is slapstick humor, and it works most of the time. And the environments and situations they are in, it's funny.
It is funny. There's a lot of good jokes in this. When I say jokes, I mean falls, tripping, punching somebody, just however they can tell the jokes within that physical realm. It's not, to me, as funny as some of the Wallace and Gromit stuff that's been done previously, but it's still a really funny movie as far as something that's been done without words.
I think it's definitely up there right along all the other quality work that this team has brought us, though, from Wallace and Gromit to the Chicken Run and all those claymation films. It's definitely fits in nicely.
Yeah, it does. It fits within that universe well, yeah.
So the only talking that happens during this film is actually from the music that plays over the events that are happening during the film. And they had some pretty good song selections for the film.
Yeah, if I have any criticism of this, it would actually be that it's a little off-putting when there's no dialogue, and then the music comes in. It's not just music, but it's pop music that doesn't really seem to fit within the time setting of that.
More folky, I would go with.
Right. However, they did play a Foo Fighters song, and that pretty much won me back.
So besides the sheep and dogs, I thought the human characters that are in this film is pretty funny. You have the exterminator and the farmer in this, and they both play their roles in stereotypical funny ways.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was talking with the simple storytelling. It's smart how they did it, which is they have animals as the protagonist, and the animal catcher is the antagonist. How much more simple can you kill with it? And I also felt as if with the dialogue that they had, which was just gibberish, it was like rah 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 rah. I mean, you can tell who is bad and who is good if you just watch 10 seconds of it.
Definitely take the little ones to see this. You might even enjoy this yourself, like I did.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, and although I may be a few years older than 7, which is probably the target range, still felt a lot of enjoyment out of this movie, for sure.
Shaun the Sheep, the movie.
Shaun the Sheep comes off as a labor of love for the art of claymation. It's heartwarming, it's a simple story, and it's witty. I really can't find any flaws with this film. This is a kid's movie, and for that reason, I put that right up there with Inside Out. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 reels.
For me, this held up just as well as the Ice Age movies, any one of the Pixar movies. It's a good movie, simple storytelling like we talked about before. I think this might be the first time. 9 out of 10 reels. I'm right.
You're going to push with me. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. And this has been our review of Shaun the Sheep.
And don't forget, if you enjoyed this movie, make sure you like and subscribe down
Below.
Thanks, guys. This has been The Real Report with Ryan and Ryan. Bah.